Hello, everyone, and welcome to further Sudokoid Super something something something, where we have recently discovered water cells. Those are blue cells. They must have a surrounding water cell that differs by 1. Now, we have not figured out exactly what to do with that yet, but we just discovered it in this grid. They've got a lot of. We're now like almost climbed back to the first grid that we started with. Let's see. Should I mark the center of this zipper? I see that there's a 2 in this column, so these two need to sum to at least 4. Can't be 6. Could be 7, 8, or 9. Oh, I see I have a 1-2 pair in this row. So these numbers are from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That one's not 3. It sees a 1-2 pair above it, actually. So this is a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kind of number. That's not super useful. I'm not sure that was incredibly revelatory, honestly. These 3 are 3 consecutive numbers, but looks like they could be basically anything. What are with these 3 digits? Maybe that's worth marking. These are 6, 7, and 8. That one's not a 6. That one's not a 7. I know, apparently. Let's see. What about this number? 2, 3, 5? Yeah, this is just a naked 5 because it's by the column. It's a 2, 3, or a 5, but it sees a 2 and a 3 in the row. So this is just a 5. Which makes this cell over here a 4 or 6, and it's not a 4 because of that. So this is a 6. Hopefully these aren't water cells. They look purple to me, which would make them wall cells. Yeah, it's very weird to me that I got the rules for water, and I don't think I'm anywhere near water. Which makes me think one of the things I think is purple is actually blue. But I could be mistaken. Yeah, the blue looks pretty clearly blue to me. I think it's okay. But I don't see a lot to do in this grid right away. Oh, no, sorry. I was thinking that the fact that these were consecutive was going to help me. It just tells me that this digit is odd. There's some. So it is 3, 5, 7, 9. That doesn't feel incredibly useful right away. But there's a lot of stuff we have not done kicking around in here. That maybe I could do if I was more persistent. I do still have this line I have to connect to get through like all of these spots. I guess it does tell me. I'm trying to feel like how confident am I that this line goes from here to here and then hits these. I think I'm pretty confident it has to be after these. So these numbers here, I think we can say with some confidence, have to be at most 6. And they're not 3 or 4 because there's a 3, 4 pair in the row, and that one's not 2. And I think it's going to be really difficult for them to even be that high, but we'll go with it. This one, I think, also needs to be at most 6, but it can't actually be 6. So this one's 2, 3, 4, 5. Not 2 either. This is 3, 4, 5. So these, I think, can't therefore be 6 either. Okay, I think we can say that the way we get to... Oh, no, because it could be through the grid above, right? Can always sort of bounce up to the grid above to get to this, so I have to be very careful with my thinking about exactly how these things work. Oh, at some point I seem to have put a 4 here. That probably was very useful, and I didn't actually look at it, because it meant these are a 5, 6, which meant neither of these things was 5, 6. And so this is a 3 or a 4 that's consecutive with a 5 or a 6. So this had better be a 4 and a 5. Like that. Uh-oh, I missed... What was I doing most recently? Wait. My claim that this 5 was a naked single was wrong? Oh, sorry. This 5 wasn't a naked single. Sorry, that was my last claim, was that this was a naked single 5 over here. This part's not going to be related to the part I was just doing. It's not 2 or 3 over here, but it can be 9. So it must be the case that it's actually 9, but I don't know why. So we can't use that. But we can come over here, and we can come over and do this bit that I just started doing, which is that those are a 5, 6. So these aren't. So that is 4 and 5 and 5 and 6 and 3. And that should hopefully all be right. That not a 5, which has indeed made that a 5, which makes that a 6, which makes that a 7, 9, 4, 5, like that. Okay, let's see what's left in this row. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is one of the digits left in the row. And so this is a naked 8 now. Let's see if my naked single is correct this time. My naked single was correct this time. This is a 4 or a 6. Which makes this a 3 or a 7. Oh, in fact, this is just a 7. 3, 5, and 7 are the options, but this C is a 5 and a 3. So this is a 7, which means that was a 6. This needs to be a 6 now, because it can't be an 8. This, I feel like, can be lots of things still. I feel like we made lots of progress in this grid, but not in a way that was at all useful. And none of it touched other grids, right? Yeah, I don't think so. And this cell is a something, but who knows what. I don't think I've learned anything more about that cell. This 5 doesn't touch back into that grid. Okay, well, we got technically kind of something, but it didn't really help. I should probably center mark this cell. So this cell is not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So this is always 6, 7, 8, or 9. Am I able to say anything more than that? I don't actually think so. Let's see. I see this column has its 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are 6, 7, 8, 9 as well. This white dot looks not very useful at the moment. Oh, filling in that this was a 5 did let me fill in that was a 1, which opened up a whole other grid I just didn't look at. Okay, let's do that. This 1 tells me that that's a 5. So these are either 1, 4, or 2, 3. And if that's not the 1, so that's not the 4. one of these two is a 5 now. This is the water. This is the water. So I almost didn't notice. So we unlocked the rule that water cells must have a surrounding water cell that differs by 1. What? This 1 does not seem to have that property. I guess maybe it depends on what surrounding means. 8 surrounding cells. Note that pink or red cells are cosmetic, and if they are surrounded by water cells, they too count as water. Breakable cells do not count as water. Anyway, okay, so that does mean that this has to be a 2, and that has to be a 3. So then this is a 4, and that's a 1, right? If I have understood all of this correctly, excellent. Okay, so now these 3 digits are high because they're all the same high lowity, and they're not low because that would be 5 lows in the column. So these pink cells are water. Why? The pink cells are just horrendous. Like, do these count as surrounded by water? I'm assuming so. Anyway, 6, 7, 8, 9, except none of them are 6 because there's no 1 in this column. And so these are low, so they're 2, 3, 4, except these two aren't 4 because, say it with me, that would put 2 9s in the same column. So this boss cell is 4, and we have unlocked a boss. And I can go ahead and open the boss puzzle. And we can do that this episode. The Serpent Cluster. You swim down into the shipwreck, shoving algae and kelp out of the way as you navigate the narrow hallways. Inside the weapons hangar, you spot an upgrade cache. It sticks out for being the only thing in pristine condition. Yet, before you have a chance to approach it, you notice shadows circling above your head. 2 massive sea serpents have made their room this nest and have caught your scent. They approach swiftly, eager to swallow you whole. Let's see. Digits separated by a V indicate that the digit pointed to is smaller than the other. 2 snakes are hidden in the puzzle. The snakes move orthogonally and don't touch each other or themselves orthogonally. One of the snakes consists entirely of odd digits, the other entirely of even digits. The heads of each snake have been given. Digits in a circle indicate how many of the surrounding cells are snake body parts. The circles are not part of any snake. Okay, so these are all not snack. We will de-snackify them. Okay. I appreciate that the V's don't look like V's. That is a great quality of life feature. So the 1 circles are useful because, for example, this cell can't be part of the SNEC because if it were part of a SNEC, that would also have to be part of a SNEC, and that's not 1 SNEC cell. Likewise, yeah. How many of the surrounding cells, including diagonals, are part of a snake body? Well, this one, I guess this could be like the snake could end here, so I can't quite say the same thing about that one. Let's see, there's a 1 over here by Sudoku. There's a 6 up here by Sudoku. I was just noticing that if this were like an even SNEC, then we'd have some problems. But it could, of course, touch 2 SNEC. You never know how many SNEC something touches. Okay, well, we know these 2 aren't SNEC cells because these are the heads of the SNECs. And the SNECs don't touch orthogonally. I wonder if I'm supposed to infer that from the way that the SNEC is drawn, that this is also a SNEC cell. I don't know. I guess I could see that being a SNEC cell and it would be okay. Yeah, we could get out some way like that, I think. Yeah, we probably like the 6. Okay, the 6 is kind of interesting because I know at most one of these is part of the SNEC. And so that means I need something like 5 of these to be part of the SNEC in order for this SNEC to SNEC. Because this 1 tells me only at most one of these two is. So it could be that I have all the remaining 6. That seems plausible. Or I have like most of these. I think that probably guarantees me that some of these cells like this one are probably have to be part of the snake. Yeah, like if this is not part of the snake, then I'm obligating all of these to be part of the snake, but that doesn't work because then the snake has to get out through this 1, which does not work. So like this is always part of some snake. I will eventually color the snakes in even odd colors, but I don't know whether the snake is even or odd. Likewise, this one also, for the same reason. If this is not part of the snake, then all of these are part of the snake, and that would therefore be part of the snake. That's probably okay. I would really love to have it immediately break if none of these are part of the snake, because it would get me something useful, but I don't think I can quite get there. This even odd rule is going to be quite interesting, I suspect. Okay, so the 1 in this box by Sudoku is in one of these 2 spots, for whatever that is worth. Yeah, the not knowing where the tail of the snake is always a little bit crazy when trying to deal with them. If this is part of a snake, then it's this snake, and this snake is 3 cells large. And that seems unlikely based on the fact that we seem to have 6, 6, and 5 cells of SNEC elsewhere that I don't think can possibly all be this green snake. Or this other snake, because the snake would have to like come around here somehow and then also go around and circle this and also come around and circle this. And that seems to be 7, not 5. And there's no way you could do it in fewer than that. So yeah, so this cell at least is definitely not part of a snake. So if this 6 is seeing 3, or sorry, if this 6 is seeing an even snake, then we can't fit more than 3 evens in this box. So that would make all of these even, and it would also take up all the evens in this box. And then the same, I guess, is true if this 6 is seeing even snake. Really wonder if I'm supposed to assume that this is snake, but I don't think so. And I assume the tongue doesn't count as snake. This snake goes this way. Then it has to immediately turn, but that's probably okay. Yeah, the 2 is kind of interesting. Like, the one consequence of the 2 is that I can say, like, no snake moves through any of these, because if the snake moved through any of those, then it'd be it. So all of these are sort of like, those are like tail only cells of the snake. And likewise, we can do the same around the 1s. As we imagine, like, this looks very fine. Oh, that looks bad. If this is in the snake, it's one of the ends of the snake. But this is also connected to an end of a snake because it can't get out of the box. Like, this is definitely connected to a snake end somewhere. And maybe that snake end is not seen by this 1. That's okay. But that would mean that we'd have to have 2 separate snakes here. Something like a snake there and a snake there, which is, I guess, okay, although it feels quite unlikely if I'm psychoanalyzing snake behavior. Trying to decide if it's actually possible, given that some snake has to get up here to this 6. Like, a lot of the cells around this 6 are also snake. It's impossible that these 2 cells are both not snake. I'm trying to see if, like, the 1 has to go on one of the snakes around the 6. But, like, annoyingly, the 6 has this property that you can still, like, if you're very careful, you can create a snake around the 6. What about... Okay, I think this has to be part of a snake. For maybe similar reasons. Maybe not quite. So what I'm noticing is, if this isn't part of the snake, then at most one of these is part of the snake and everything else is part of the snake. But maybe that's okay still. That might just barely mathematically work out. Do I want to torture the 6 snake more? Like, if this isn't part of the snake, then this isn't part of the snake because of the diagonal touching rule, and all of this is snake. That just doesn't work, right? So yeah, so if this is not part of the snake, then this would touch the snake diagonally. Oh, sorry, the snakes are allowed to touch diagonally, right? The snakes are only not allowed to touch each other orthogonally. They can even touch themselves or each other diagonally, so never mind. That is not a good argument. Actually, it is a good argument, but only in only with more steps. If this cell isn't snake, this cell isn't snake because if it was snake, it would be a 1-cell snake, and we can't have any 1-cell snakes that aren't over here. So then those are both not snake, which means then we do have a snake that looks like this, and neither head of the snake is over there, and it can't extend. So this is snake. I am prepared to argue. Okay, so now... what if this isn't part of a snake? If this is not part of a snake, then this is all part of a snake, and one of these 2 is part of a snake, so it would be that one. That actually looks quite reasonable. It does mean that all 3 of these cells have the same parity, so they're either all even or all odd, because these are all definitely part of the same snake, regardless. Okay, so if this is part of a snake, it's this snake, and all of those are parts of the snake, and that snake is odd because of box 1. But that all sounds okay to me. Only just, but it sounds doable. It would, of course, mean that all of these were also part of said snake. Oh, maybe that doesn't work, but that seems ugly to argue. Anyway, I know that this snake needs to make its way back because the end is up here somewhere. If this snake stops here, it's the end. It could go here, or it could come here, or it could go here and then come here. It's ending. Oops. So this end of the snake needs to connect to one of these two. I am prepared to say. Sure seems like it would be nice if it was that one, but I think there's some weird rappy world where it's not that one. I don't quite want to make some sort of global argument about these two snakes if I can avoid it. Okay, is it somehow broken if this is all snake? Because if this is all snake, I know this snake has to keep going. Because it's not connected yet. So it would have to keep going like that. At the very least. So I'd know like all of this was part of one snake, if that's true. I guess what that has told me is that one of these 3 cells is always snake. Because if neither of these two are snake, again, that forces all of this to be snake. But now my snake is forced by the X's here. So if neither of these is snake, that one is. So these are never snake, or whatever that is worth. It will be nice once we know a similar statement about how one of the snakes has to end somewhere or another about the other snake. I know that if this is snake, it's the other snake from this, right? Oh, maybe not quite. Not quite, because that would be 5. There could be 5 odds as long as it did something really weird, sort of zigzagging around over here. The fact that the snake can touch orthogonally is annoying because it allows for possibilities like those are the 6 cells, although I think I could argue that's not really what happens. Because I know there aren't 2... There's only one more snake end to find in the grid. Okay, can I use the fact that there's only one more snake end to find in the grid to say anything meaningful about this? Like, is it possible that 2 snakes actually touch this 6? I don't think so, but I don't think it's a nice thing to argue. I don't think there's a pleasant way to go about that. As best I can tell. Okay, can I argue that this cell can't be snake? Because if it was, that snake would come here, and it would have to not be this snake. Because remember, this snake's end is up here. So this would have to be 2 different snakes. And remember, we only get 2 nun-snake cells around this 6. So this would be one of them. That would be a nun-snake cell. The other one would be one of these 2. So we'd have to do something like that. And that doesn't work. Yeah, that doesn't work because now this is an end of a snake. And that's an end of a snake. And so this is a snake where neither end is over there. So I think we can argue that's not snake. Yeah, we've said this before. If this isn't snake, or sorry, if this is snake, it's a different snake from this one. And so it goes like this, and then it comes down, and this one has to come down, and down again. And now maybe this one can go like that. And this one can go like that. And this is annoyingly plausible, isn't it? It's annoyingly plausible. Because these could all be odds, for example. These could be evens. And I don't think we've broken anything in the world. This 2 isn't broken. I doubt it is this, but unfortunately, this is hard to rule out. Can this possibly not be snake? If this isn't snake, then both of these are snake. One of these two is snake, and it's got to be that one. Yeah, that doesn't work, although it's horrible. So I'm hypothecating the world where this is not snake. If this is not snake, then we know that these are both snake, and one of these two is snake. Now, it can't be this one. Basically, the problem is that this end now has to connect somewhere, and it can't do that because of the fact that it's trapped by the fact that if it comes here, it ends in that direction. Otherwise, it's already ended in that direction, and then it comes here, and now we've got the problem that it can't touch the 1 again because one of these two has to be in. So that doesn't work either. So this has to be snake, although I don't know if it's the same snake or a different snake than that one. If this is not snake, then that is, and that's probably fine. Remember, if this is snake, then the snake includes all of these cells automatically. And of course, this cell as well. All seems fine. Five and 6 are just such huge numbers to appear in circles. Feels like it should tell me exactly what's happening, but I don't think that it quite does. I think there's like just enough wiggle room that I don't quite know what's going on with these. Okay, let me try really hard to break this not being part of a snake. Because if this isn't part of a snake, then we know that we've got snake here, we've got snake here. One of these two is part of the snake, so that's not part of the snake. I see. Okay, so this has to be 2 different snakes in that case, because this end now is also going to be terminal. If this is part of the snake, it's going to end either here, here, or here, regardless of what I do. So that means these are 2 different snakes in that universe. So this is snake 1, snake 2. This snake, of course, has not yet found a snake friend yet. This snake, of course, needs to find a head as well. It needs to turn here immediately because it can't have more than 5 cells in the same column. So this one needs to come here, and it becomes that snake. This one can't go there because it would touch it orthogonally. Can't come there because its life would end, so it'll come there, and there, and there. The odd snake here is very short. Sorry, the even snake here is very short. The problem with this all being forced, I think, is that I think it's going to make this 6 impossible. It's definitely going to make this 6 impossible. Because of the fact that this blue snake, in order to get to the 6, which it's going to have to, is going to have to come by its own head without stopping at it. And you can't go by your own head without stopping at it. So I think this path that I outlined before, where I looked at this not being part of a snake, I don't think it actually works once you consider the connectivity in the 6. So I think this is actually all one snake. And that snake can't go... Oh, no, it can go here as long as we keep going around here. Never mind. Sorry. I was going to say it can't go there, but I don't think that's true. Yeah, I think we can. That does, though, mean that this cell is no longer able to be snake. Because if this cell was snake, it would immediately come this way, and that would create 7 cells adjacent to this. So we've got that at least going for us. Okay, now if this snake is even, we've used all the evens in the row already. It should be noted now, no, these 2 cells aren't snake. Because that would be a snake touching a snake orthogonally. We shan't do that. The up and around version here has to come at least like that. It's going to put 5 cells in this box no matter what, and it's going to have to wrap around and touch the 6 quite a lot. Something like that. But that, again, looks annoyingly plausible. It's actually like very difficult to just imagine what the raw geometry of this grid is going to look like. So if this snake keeps going through here, then this cell is out because we've used both of our spots for the 2. So we've got to end up coming over through here some way or another. And then we've ultimately got to end up being this. Basically, if we go up this way, we instantly become this snake, having fulfilled the 6 somehow. But then we've stranded this snake fulfilling the 5, and I just don't think it can. I'm becoming increasingly worried about how we're going to get this 5 to possibly work. I think whichever snake ends up touching the 5 is going to end up getting sort of trapped touching the 5. Like something like this is possible. But would then require a really long version of this snake, which actually seems plausible. A really long version of this snake that does something up through here. No, because then it ends by the 1. Maybe there's a version of this where this snake does something like that, actually. That seems plausible now. I'm just sort of trying to visualize how this works. But I don't think there's any way that 2 snakes could share the 5 that I can see given what we've got about connectivity. Yeah, I think I'm basically convincing myself that this has to be the light green snake. Because if this is the dark green snake, then it connects through here somehow, because it can't connect around. And however it connects through there, it forces this light green snake up to deal with the 6, and the light green snake can't come down. And so this darker green snake is going to have to somehow deal with the 5 while connecting over there, and that's just not possible. Okay, so I think maybe the way I should phrase this is I think I've convinced myself that this 5 is a contiguous string of 5. So it does not include these 3 cells, because if it included these 3 cells, that would automatically create a snake touching itself orthogonally situation. And so if it doesn't include these 3, then is that enough to tell me that it has to include something in particular? I don't think it quite is, unfortunately. Oh, maybe this one. I think this one's always in. Because if that's out, yeah, this one has to be in. This is always part of a snake. It's probably a different snake. Now, the snake's going to go through here, or it's going to go through here. Trying to convince myself that I know that this has to be the dark snake, but I don't think I know that yet. In any sort of super coherent way. Like, I think it's probably exactly that or something very similar. I think this is all supposed to be about how we're connecting these two snakes and to handle these effectively 3 regions of the grid. I do think, even though it's weird, I think this does go up. But it's very difficult to articulate exactly why it going down breaks. And it's like basically about the 5. So if this goes down, it definitely has to handle the 5. And it has to handle the 5 and then return to its snake head. And I just feel like I've drawn enough things around the 5 that I'm convinced it can't do that. And so I think this has to go up, but I feel very bad about the level of proof that I have provided of this. But I think I'm going to try and use it anyway. Okay, so that's my second one around this too, if I say that I have done this. So we've got this over here. That was our 1, so we don't have snake there. Now, this is now just forced to connect to green, so this green has to go up this way, which means this is not snake. This would now be an end of a snake, but that's okay. Okay, we've got one of the 2 places that we don't visit on this 6 already. This snake certainly has to connect across here. Oh, this snake has just become the light green snake now. Sorry, I should just make it the light green snake. So it certainly connects across here no matter what happens. This is gray no matter what happens. Light green is odd because of this row now. So these are all 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and this is 2, 4, 6, 8. Not 2. This is not 1 or 5. I almost screwed up my pencil marks there. Six is happy. This isn't a 9 because of how 9s work with respect to inequalities. If this is out, then my snake is forced to take these 2 cells, and that has the problem that that's way too many digits, right? Because if this is out, by the nature of the 6, these 2 are in, and they have to connect around that way. That's too many odds, so this is always in. So that's not snake. If this is out, that's in, and I've got a snake that's got way too many tails, because I already know where the tail of the snake is, so that's always in. And it's exactly one of these that's in. I just don't know which one. Okay, well, this isn't the 6. Okay, I know that this is the other green. Okay, so I think the important argument here to make, which I think I've more or less made, but I've been sort of uncomfortable with making, is that once this green snake visits this end, this needs to connect to the tail of the snake over on this side. We can't cross both sides of the 5. So we start on this side, we end on this side of the 5, basically, because if we cross back and forth to end back on this side, then we'd have an issue, which means that this needs to be part of the green snake, because all of these are forced to be terminal, and it's not the end of the green snake, because we've just said the green snake ends over on this side of the 5. Okay, this can't be part of the snake anymore. If this is now part of the snake, now we have this problem that the snake can't get out. So snake needs to actually come this way. I think we've now basically logically argued the whole thing that we wanted before. Okay, these are 2, 4, 6, 8. Hopefully this is all correct. Feels like there's a handful of possibilities for how exactly we can wrap this all together. Oh, well, this certainly isn't snake. I can at least say that much. And there's no way I can make this snake either. So I guess, therefore, my run of 5 snake cells now is trapped in these 6, so it must include the middle 4. So we at least know these are all snake. So these are 2, 4, 6, 8. These aren't 6. That one's not 2. It's just a question of which of these 2 we get to, and we don't quite know how this 1 is working out yet. It's showing up on one side or the other. What now? It feels like we've got this narrowed down to sort of a handful of possibilities. I guess I know, while I'm at it, this is actually quite useful to observe. One of these 2 is odd, so these are certainly all even. Okay, this one's not 2 or 6. This one's not 6. Okay, so that's all the evens in this column. Okay, there we go. So that's all the evens in this column. So this cell is the odd one. This is the last cell of this snake. Sorry, not the last cell of the snake. It's the last cell of the snake in this box. So this is not the 6, because this is the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, which means that this is the 6. Please let that be right. Thank goodness. Okay. These are not 6. Now, this needs to touch here in order to get the 6 to be correct, which now means that all of these are out, which means my 1 is one of these. So we need to actually get this even cell into one of these 2 places. So in other words, one of these 2 is even, and therefore the rest of these are odd. Okay, now that is 5 odds in this column, so this cell is even. Uh-oh, that's broken. Assuredly, right? No, it can just work. It can just work. Sorry, this is now even, and so it's got to be part of the snake, because I've got to get the snake up to one of these 2 cells, and I can only do that with all 4 cells, and now it has to be exactly like that. And so therefore this is a 6. That should confirm that we have everything correct. If I do that, okay. Okay, that is my 5. So therefore this one's not part of the snake, and this one is. I kind of want to just abandon the snakes and switch to the switch to just even odd coloring, but I feel like that would be disrespectful to how much the snakes have done. In any event, we now have finished our snakes, so we know that there are no snakes over there. These are 2, 4, 8. We know. Okay, and this one's not 8. That one's not 2 because of how inequalities work. These are 2, 4, 8 as well, because that is my full collection of odds in this row. So this is a 4 or an 8 at the very least. I still got a little flexibility there on how exactly that's all going to work out. This cell's certainly odd, just because the column has all its evens. These are odd. It's not a 9 because it's on a less than side the wrong way. Get rid of the x's at least. Oh, right. I don't know if this snake... Oh, I do know if the snake takes this cell. It doesn't, because that cell's even. I see. Okay. I know that one of these is 8 just for the row. I know that this is a 2, 4, or 8. Let's see. Do I have all my odds in this column? I do have all my odds in this column. So this is a 2, 4, 6, or 8, but it's not a 2. So this is a 4, 6, or 8. This column, I have all my evens. Sorry, I have all my evens. So these are odd. So we've got all the evens and all the odds there. This is odd because we've got all the evens in the row. Okay, so that's all my odds. So this is even. And in fact, actually, so is this. These are both even. Okay, now one of those two is 2. Yeah, of course, these are odd. We know that. And we know we don't put the 9 on this side or the 1 on that side. We don't put the 9 on this side or the 1 on that side. Okay, we've got our 3, 5, 7, 9. So this is my other even. This is a 2, 4, 6, or 8. I don't think I know which one. I know it's not a 6, apparently. That's actually useful, because that actually means this is a 6. Oh, I guess the 2, 4, 8 would have told me that as well. Good. So this is not a 6. So one of these two is a 6. Actually, this is just a 6, right? Where does 6 go in this box, given that it doesn't go in any of those cells and it's not odd? 6 is here. This is not an 8, because 8 is not less than 8. This is a 4. 4 is less than 8. So that's a 2, 4. All of that's right? Yeah, okay. This break-in felt so shaky to me. I was like very worried that we had screwed something up. Okay, that's a 2, 4 pair, so that makes that an 8. So this is the one of 2 and 4 that's less than 8. I see. Very helpful. Not a 2. Yeah, there's a 6 over here somewhere. These are all even as well. That's helpful to know. Just by the row, we'd found all the odds, all 5 of them. So now in this column, we found all the even, so this is odd. So now in this row, we have all the odds, so this is a 2 or a 4. Not quite done that column yet, I see. Okay, well, this is never a 9. This is at least a 4. That 2, 8, not super useful. Checking to see if I had any other inequalities that were leaping out at me as useful. Oh, I have all the odds in this column. There we go. That's more useful. So these are both even. Okay, and so now these are both odd. And so this is the... So we've now sort of even odd colored this whole grid in some somewhat horrendous way. I see within this row, the 1 is in this box. So this isn't a 1. Yeah, we know one of those two is a 1. Now, in this triple, one of these is a 2, so this isn't a 2. It's a 5 in this row, but who knows where it is? This digit is a 1 by Sudoku. That's a help. So therefore, that's a 1 by Sudoku. So therefore, that's a 1 by Sudoku. I suspect that's not going to be very helpful. This number that is less than another number is a 1. Now, that's a 1 for this box, which makes this the 1 for this box. That 1 has finally eroded out of that cell. So now that's the 1 over here that I corner marked at the very beginning of the puzzle. And so now this can't be a 2. So now I've got a 4-8 pair giving me a 6 here and a 2 here. 8 and 2 and 8 is less than 9. 4, 2, 8, 4, 6. Okay, now things are finally happening. 2, 8, 4, 2, 2, 4, 4, 8. Everything's good, right? Okay. Okay, 6 is bigger than 3 or 5, but not bigger than 7. 4 is bigger than 3 only. That makes that a 5, makes that a 7, makes that a 9. 5 and 7 are less than 5 or 7, so that's 5 is less than 7 is the only option. 3 and 9, 7, 5, 9, 3, 7, 5, 3, 7, 5, 9, 3, 7, 9, 3, 7, 9, 5. We did it. The snakes don't faze you. You've dealt with the galaxy worms in your travels, and while your suit doesn't have the thrusters of an eaglet spaceship, it's more than nimble enough for this. You do a classic maneuver, and before they know it, the snakes are tied up in a neat bow. With the serpents dealt with, you return to the weapons station inside the cache as an advanced missile system, far superior to your own. Super missiles, if you will. Now return to the main puzzle and place a 1 in the boss cell. 1. Woohoo, where are my... Draw Renbon lines from arrow tips. But we'll figure Renbun arrow lines next time. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you all next time on Super Sudokoid.